Welcome to our online portal concept classes UPSC corridor. Today we will discuss third subtopic under issue related to constitution. Today's topic will be basic structure. So why this topic is in news? Because a famous personality, Keswanand Bharati, recently passed away, who is related to a judgment in which Supreme Court has given a famous doctrine which was basic structure doctrine. Okay, so let's discuss the topic. So we'll start why in news. Okay, recently Keswanand Bharati of landmark Keswanand Bharati, Sri Padgavaluru and other VS state of Kerala case passed away. About Keswanand Bharati case, what was the case? Okay, so let me select highlighter. Now about the Keswanand Bharati case. In Keswanand Bharati case, Supreme Court outlined basic structure of constitution. Okay, means Supreme Court in the Keswanand Bharati case given a basic structure of constitution. Means what will be the basic structure of our constitution, how many points will be included in basic structure of constitution. Okay, now if we'll come to next, then the case deal with a petition against Kerala government challenging the compulsory acquisition of land by government under the Kerala Land Reform Act 1963 as a violation of fundamental right as enshrined in Article 25, 26, 31 of Indian Constitution. In this case, what happened? The Kerala government under Kerala Land Reform Act of 1963 had just took the land of persons or land of Keswanand Bharati under this act, which is Kerala Land Reform Act. Okay, and which was violation of Article 25, 26 and 31, which was mentioned at that time in Indian Constitution. Okay, the case was heard by bench of 13 judges, the longest formed in Supreme Court. Okay, the Keswanand Bharati case or the famous case was heard by 13 bench. In that case 13 judges was there, and that is the largest form bench in Supreme Court. Okay, till now. Now, as hearing proceeded, the scope of the case was explained to address the following. Okay, which point or which earlier judgment of Supreme Court has been discussed, or which earlier judgment of Supreme Court was reviewed by Supreme Court itself. It was interpretation of Goloknath case. Okay, before Keswanand Bharati there was also a famous case, Goloknath case. This case was again interpreted by Supreme Court in Keswanand Bharati case, and interpretation of Article 368 was also there. The validity of 24 Constitutional Amendment Act, Section 2, Section 3 of the 25th Constitutional Amendment Act and 29th Constitutional Amendment Act was reviewed in Keswanand Bharati case. Now we'll see the evolution of doctrine of basic structure. Okay, in evolution of basic structure doctrine contains so many Constitutional Amendment Act and 3 or 4 famous Supreme Court cases. Okay, so we'll see one by one. First case was Sankari Prasad case, in which Sankari Prasad case, and the second case was Sajjan Singh case. The first case was in 1951 and the second case was in 1965. In both the cases, Parliament cannot amend any part including fundamental Parliament can amend any part including fundamental right under Article 368. Article 368 give power to Parliament to amend any part of article. Okay, further we'll see how the amendment power of Parliament is changed. Okay, now it's come 1967. The famous case was Goloknath case. In Goloknath case, the amending power of Parliament was curtailed. Okay, how it's curtailed? In which there was famous article. 2 article was discussed. First article was Article 368 again, and the second article was Article 13. It said in this case, Supreme Court said in this case, means ki Parliament cannot amend, Parliament amendment done under Article 368 will be null and void if it's violate the fundamental right given by Constitution. Okay, and this is given in Article 13. Article 13 tells that if any amendment or any law which violate the fundamental right will be null and void. It's covered under Article 13. Okay, and what is Article 368? Article 368 tells that Parliament can amend any part of Constitution, amend, repeal or exempt. Okay, so if we'll conclude, then we say that amendment done under Article 368 will be null and void if it just took away the fundamental right, if it's violate the fundamental right. Now it's come 1971. In 1971 there was Indra Gandhi government, and this government was known for its Constitutional Amendment Act because during this government the constitutional power was curtailed, the constitutional power was reduced, and Parliament had become slowly powerful, then constitution, and Parliament had slowly become supreme body in India. So what happened? It was happened under 24th Constitutional Amendment Act. In 24th Constitutional Amendment Act, it's said that constitutional amendment not law under Article 13. So Parliament can amend any article. Okay, it said that the constitutional amendment made under Article 368 is not law. Okay, okay, and if any constitutional amendment act violate fundamental right, then it will not be null and void. It was done under Article it was done under Constitutional Amendment Act 24th. Okay, now next amendment was there, 25th Constitutional Amendment Act. In 25th Constitutional Amendment Act there was 2 sections, section 2 and section 3. In section 2, the right to property was curtailed with due compensation. And what happened in section 3? Section 3, precedence of DPSP over fundamental rights. Means DPSP will be given precedence over fundamental right, and it took away the judicial review power for Article 39B and 39C. Now what happened? Again in 1972 29th Constitutional Amendment Act was there. In this amendment, what happened? This amendment added two land reform legislation to 9th schedule. 9th schedule is a schedule which is shielded from judicial review. Means the article or the law which is in 9th schedule, those article those law will not be judicial reviewed. Okay, now again it's come 1973, in which Keshavanand Bharati judgment was announced by court, or Keshavanand Bharati judgment was given by court. Okay, now we'll see what happened in Keshavanand Bharati judgment. Okay, we'll see here. In Keshavanand Bharati judgment, first Supreme Court has cancelled the judgment of Goloknath Case. Okay, or overruled the judgment of Goloknath Case, in which it said that any amendment done by Supreme Court will be null and void if it violate the fundamental right. This judgment was just changed by Supreme Court in Keshavanand Bharati case. Now what was the next? Supreme Court upheld the validity of 24th Constitutional Amendment. Okay, what was the 24th Constitutional Amendment? Was the same thing which overturned the Goloknath case. Okay, Supreme Court held that Parliament had power to amend any or all provision of Constitution, okay, including fundamental right. Means Supreme Court can amend fundamental right also, but there was a condition. What was the condition? If we'll read again, with a condition that amendments should not alter or damage, destroy the essential feature or the fundamental principle of the Constitution. This came to be known as basic structure doctrine. Now we'll see what is the basic structure doctrine. We'll see here various elements of the basic structure doctrine. Some principles that are presently part of basic structure doctrine are stated below. Okay, these all points included in basic structure doctrine. If Parliament will just change these points, or Parliament just made any change which violated these points, then it will be null and void. Then those change by the Parliament will be null and void, because this is the basic structure doctrine of our Constitution. Okay, first is sovereignty of India, second is essential feature of individual freedom secured to the citizen, mandate to build a welfare state, supremacy of the Constitution, republican and democratic form of government, secular and federal character of Constitution, separation of power between legislature, executive and judiciary, unity and integrity of nation, power of judicial review, harmony and balance between fundamental right and DPSP, parliamentary system, rule of law, principle of equality, free and fair election, independence of judiciary, limited power of Parliament to amend the Constitution, effective access to justice, principle underlying fundamental rights, power of Supreme Court under Article 32, 136, 141 and 142, and the last one is power of High Court under Article 226 and 227. Now we'll see what was the next judgment. Corrected the judgment of Goloknath case. We have already studied. Supreme Court held that Article 368 contained both the power and the procedure for amending the Constitution, and that amending power and the legislative power of parliament were different. Okay, now what was the next other judgment? Supreme Court held 25th and 29th amendment except for the part that curtailed its power of judicial review, and also asserted that preamble is a part of constitution and hence amendable. Okay, what was the 25th and 29? 29 is a two land reform was given in ninth schedule, and what was 25th? 25th was which was curtailing the property with the due concession and precedence of DPSP over fundamental right, but excluding judicial review, means Supreme Court can done judicial review. Okay, so the topic is finished. From the next time we'll cover 2 or 3 topic, because these topics are very long and lengthier, so it has taken long time. Now we'll discuss 2 or 3 topic in next lecture. Thank you.